Hello everybody, I'm KC, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk About. Today, let's talk about the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic episode, A Hearth Warming Tail. That's right, this episode celebrates Hearth Warming Eve. Again, only 14 episodes after the last Hearth Warming Eve episode. If you're one of those people who are still trying to figure out the seasonal cycle in Equestria, I certainly wish you luck. I'll be honest, I was kind of reluctant for a Christmas special in May. But this was a really enjoyable story. When Starlight is just not feeling the holiday spirit, Twilight decides to read her A Christmas Carol. Okay, technically they call it A Hearth Warming Tail, but it's a Christmas Carol. Kind of. Unlike most adaptations, A Hearth Warming Tail just uses certain storytelling devices from A Christmas Carol, rather than being a point-for-point retelling. There's no Tiny Tim, no Marley, no Belle, or Elizabeth, or Isabel, or whatever the hell her name was. And Starlight isn't exactly Scrooge, but we'll go more into that later. Once I figured out what this episode was doing, I was not complaining. Not only do I absolutely adore A Christmas Carol, like pretty much everybody else, but I love when characters tell stories to other characters. It's a narrative device I just never get tired of. I think it's fun to have interruptions in the middle of the story and have characters comment on the story being told. But it gets even better because we have our fourth musical episode. Magical Mystery Cure and Pinkie Pride are some of my favorite episodes, and I already praised Crusaders of the Lost Mark in my review. So I was A-okay with another musical episode. Plus, this makes up for the fact that there was only one song in the season prior to this. But is it just me, or have the performances improved in this episode? I don't know, it just seems like everybody cranked it up a notch because these songs sound so great. They have such wonderful orchestration and atmosphere on top of such beautiful performances that you almost forget that most of them are barely 2 minutes long. Snowfall Frost's song is just so sinister and reminiscent of classic Disney villain songs. I've personally enjoyed Starlight's performance as a good and bad guy, but you can tell that her voice actress is having a ball with the few minutes she gets to channel evil Starlight again. Because unlike Scrooge, who just ignored the holiday season to the best of his ability, Snowfall is trying to get rid of Hearth Warming Eve altogether. But like in A Christmas Carol, Snowfall is visited by three spirits who try to show her the true meaning of the holidays. And like with Snowfall, they're played by other main characters, all of whom were great casting choices, so let's go over them individually. Applejack was kind of a surprise to me for the choice of the spirit of Hearth Warming Past. Honestly, my first choice would have been Fluttershy. But it did make sense the more I thought about it. Applejack is the nurturing member of the group, which is what the Ghost of Christmas Past should be. Someone who can guide our lead through some of the darker turning points in their lives and make them realize where they went wrong. In Snowfall's case, it's taking the harsh words of her teacher to heart and shutting herself off from the world to do what she believed was best to make Equestria a better place. So Applejack is there to comfort Snowfall as she watches her younger self wipe away her tears so she can study. Even though she has flaws of her own, I'd argue AJ is the most mature of the main six, so the casting made more sense when I looked at it like that. Not to mention they gave AJ such a beautiful costume. I love her design as the spirit of Hearth Warming Past. Her song probably goes through the most changes as far as tone, but it is beautifully performed, and I adore it. Then we have the spirit of Hearth Warming Present, played by Pinkie Pie, to the surprise of no one. If you go to pretty much any Muppet Christmas Carol's PMV, you'll find Pinkie in that role. But there's a reason she's cast in it so often, because she's perfect for the role. Plus her song comes with a fun tap dance break that reminded me a lot of Anchors Away. You know, that movie where Gene Kelly danced with Jerry Mouse? Anyone remember that? Anyway, it's still a fun, upbeat jazz number that shows off why Hearth Warming Eve is important to so many ponies. Which is where Snowfall realizes that the festivities of Hearth Warming Eve may be closer to her own ideologies than she thought. Unlike Scrooge, who felt pure antipathy towards the world because of how it treated him, Snowfall wants to make Equestria a better place. Her goal is a noble one, she's just going about it the wrong way. I've noticed people comparing Snowfall to Scrooge's journey through the original story, but I don't think directly paralleling Scrooge's character arc was the point. Snowfall only tried to erase Hearth Warming Eve because she thought it was a waste of time, and that time could be better spent on educating ponies further to better Equestria. But she didn't realize what joy and sentiment she'd be taking away with the spell, and what she'd unleash by doing so. Now we come to the spirit of Hearth Warming Yet to Come, played by Princess Luna. I'm not gonna lie, I squeed so loud when this was revealed. It's perfect! I mean, Luna kind of already did the Christmas Carol bit, but who cares? Because this was amazing casting, and the way Luna looks in that cloak is awesome. Now, we all know what's supposed to happen at this point in Christmas Carol, but this is still a TV-wise show, so we can't exactly show any gravestones. Instead, how about seeing the entirety of Equestria turn into a frozen wasteland? That's kid-friendly, right? And since Luna is playing one of the spirits, she gets a song. Her own song. Luna's first solo. Okay, my own fangirl dream come true aside, this is an amazing song. It's very haunting and chilling and fits the atmosphere of this nightmarish future perfectly. On top of Luna finally getting a solo and showing off her best Scarlet Witch moves, she even has a new singing voice, performed by Aloma Steele. And personally, I'm glad they made the change in casting. While Kazumi Evans is insanely talented, when she sang as Luna, it just sounded like when she sings as Rarity. I think this voice is more distinct and much more fitting for Luna, and I hope she returns when Luna hopefully sings again. So Snowfall sees the error of her ways and learns to appreciate Hearth Warming Eve, as does Starlight. Before we get to my overall thoughts, I want to take a second to appreciate the detail during the old-time Equestria segments. While this setting is not what I expected Camelot to look like 100 or so years ago, I get what they were going for with the Victorian look. It's beautiful to look at, the detail on the town's ponies continues to impress. The changes to vinyl to fit the time period got a chuckle out of me, and then there's... oh my gosh! Okay, in case you didn't know, I am a huge Sherlock Holmes fan, so I have a couple things to say about these cameos. For one, we know what the color palettes of the Sherlock and Watson ponies are now, since last time we saw them was in Rarity Investigates. But the best part is that these are the same models from Rarity Investigates, which were inspired by the 21st century incarnation of the classic characters from the show Sherlock. And guess what? Sherlock had a special episode that had the same cast, but took place in Victorian times. You know which episode it was? The Christmas episode. This could just be a huge coincidence, I honestly don't know how far in advance these episodes are animated, and they could have just put the Sherlock ponies into the Victorian setting just for fun without realizing the connection, but as someone who's a huge fan of both of these shows, and already reviewed the Sherlock Christmas special, I'd like to think that this was the most clever cameo in the show so far. Alright, sorry for the detour, but I had to get that out of my system. So overall, I thought this episode was wonderful. The music is some of the best the series has produced, the animation is beautiful, and it got me in the holiday spirit right before the summer. Though, like a lot of other people, I do wish this episode was longer. Since this is a fairly different story from the classic Christmas Carol, I wanted to spend more time in this story and maybe expand on certain elements. I would have loved if this was a big Christmas special like some other animated shows have done. It even seems like the crew did have some ideas that didn't make it into the episode. Apparently Discord was going to be in this as Marley, but this was sadly cut for length reasons. I wonder how that would have gone.
Link by link, your chain is in the making. Link by link.
Wait.
What?
How is this a terrifying omen?
Do you know what these things are made out of? Oh well, I'll try out again after the hiatus. Right, Hasbro?
Okay, so it probably wouldn't have been like that, but who knows? This is Discord we're talking about. Anyway, restrictions by the runtime aside, they hit another home run with this musical episode that I look forward to watching again during the appropriate season. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.